Dua Lipa has released what appears to be the kickoff to her third upcoming album, with a track called Houdini. Now before we talk about this new song, let's talk about my personal history with Dua Lipa's music a bit. I was not really a fan of her debut work, outside of a few songs. For lack of better words, I found it to be super generic and passable, with the only character in those songs mostly being Dua Lipa's voice, but the production left a lot to be desired. I did enjoy a few songs from her debut, but ultimately I could have gone without it. It seemed like Dua was set to be faceless radio fodder. I honestly expected her to slip into the category of artists who have big hits, but they never seemed to garner much critical interest, or more substantial stature, and essentially spend their careers doing EDM and dance features, likened to people like BB Rexa, Rita Ora, Ava Max, Mabel, and Zara Larsson. That whole section of music that seems to exist within the same world and format. So I was genuinely taken by surprise when she came with Future Nostalgia, which was a bit retro, a bit futuristic, a lot of well-made new disco and dance music. It was something completely different for radio at the time, and showed that Dua Lipa had it in her. If not to produce the most personal driven pop, she could at least produce quality pop while taking a new artistic direction in her career and reinventing her image. I couldn't do anything but respect the growth from her debut to sophomore album, which was drastic. As the era came to a close, it became harder to gauge which direction Dua would go in next, or if she would even go in a different direction. Dua is also not like most of her peers in the sense that her music doesn't include super personal experiences or narratives, so I did wonder if she might expand on that, and if we might get to know Dua more as a person, or if she just wants to be a bot machine, which there's nothing wrong with either way as long as the music is good. Then shortly before Houdini dropped, there was rumblings of her going in a psychedelic direction and teaming up with Kevin Parker of Tame Impala for her upcoming release, and sure enough, it turned out to be true. Kevin Parker along with Danny L. Harl produced the record, while Dua Lipa co-wrote the record. The song is not really heavy-handed in its psychedelic influences. It's much more new disco with a little psychedelic flavor on top. My initial reaction was this song sounds like a Future Nostalgia outtake or B-side. Sonically, it also reminds me of something The Weeknd would have on his last two records, After Hours and Dawn FM. It's not a bad song by any means, but it's certainly not as instant as songs like Don't Start Now or Levitating. And while I can appreciate many aspects of the song, the synths, the crunchy guitars, the bass, there's not a lot of great build-up in the song. Lyrically, Lipa likens herself to Houdini with her relationships, and not wanting to play games with someone that might waste her time. I really think the best part of the song and the most interesting part occurs within the last 40 seconds or so, which has an epic guitar breakdown, which I wish was incorporated throughout the entire song. It really livens it all up. What I will say that it is a bit sonically darker than the work on Future Nostalgia, so although not a complete departure, there is at least a noticeable difference. In some ways, especially with some of the synths that pop up throughout the song, it reminds me of the work of ABBA. So my official verdict on the song is that it's a competent, well-made piece of dance pop, but it's certainly not a showstopper. And that about concludes my thoughts. I'm looking forward to what Dua might do next and what she might have up her sleeve. Dua Lipa's management recently made headlines saying that they wanted the singer to change pop culture with her third album. A successful Dua campaign is one that lasts a couple years or more. We want more diamond records, we want streams of 2 billion plus, we want her to be the most streamed artist in the world, which is an extremely high standard to meet. And let's just say if Houdini is any indication, she won't get very far with changing pop culture. It's just too basic to do so. Let me know what you think about this song down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.